Hello, we're back. We stopped moving the thing. It wouldn't too far. Anyway.
We dropped it on the last one.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's get away from there. All right. So yeah, we're back. Well, as I said, we would be yesterday on my other video. Which, if you want to check out me trying to set up the Sony Spider-Verse, following Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Check that video out.
Yes.
Because it's much better planning than what they've got going on right now. Anyway. But today, this is about, as you remember, we did a thing a couple weeks ago, which you can also watch on the channel, about how we would have, we reviewed the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes, the duology with Andrew Garfield.
So now, much like I did with the Spider-Man 3, fixing it, the problems, we're going to tackle the Amazing Spider-Man 2 and try to fix it and lead it into a third movie.
That was, they were planning to do.
They're planning to do before the deal with Marvel and all that stuff.
Well, before Amazing Spider-Man 2 was less than well received, which then led to the deal with Marvel.
With other issues too, but yeah.
Yeah. Because, as we mentioned in that previous review, Amazing Spider-Man 2 had some issues.
But it did. So... I'm so excited about this video.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. So, let's talk about it.
Sure. So, we didn't write anything down this time.
Yeah. We got the basic.
But, I think we've got the basic gist of
I didn't write anything down in that other video. I just kind of let it
Cool.
pop out of my head. So.
All right. Well, for starters, Harry's arc is way too rushed.
Yes.
So, for starters... He is not the Green Goblin in this film.
Agreed.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff about desperately trying to find a cure for the goblin disease or what. Just give that to Norman. Chris Cooper is right there.
I'm going to go one further. We're going to stop that stupid storyline because it's stupid. Fuck that Ultimate Universe bullshit Goblin. Let's get classic fucking Goblin here. Classic Norman Osborn, not this weird god. Sorry, fuck that. That's stupid.
Okay.
I'm just going against it. I disagree with you on that.
Okay.
I guess we'll have two different visions here.
I guess why don't you...
Maybe we should discuss this before the video.
We probably should have. Whoopsies.
No,
do you want to pitch your idea first, or?
Well, no, it doesn't matter. I don't think the Goblin disease should even be a plot.
Okay.
I think it's stupid and lame.
I agree, but it was all set up, so.
Okay, so we have to follow it? I think not. The point is to fix it, not to make it as bad.
So it sounded like you had different ideas than I did.
Well, number one,
which is fine.
No, I've never liked Ultimate Goblin. I think it's stupid. The Goblin should not be an actual Goblin. He should not be fucking the Hulk. Look like as big as a Hulk. That's stupid. That's not fucking the Green Goblin. That's just my personal opinion. If you really like it, that's fine.
Okay.
But it didn't. The whole Goblin. It was dumb. It just felt like a forced plot point that didn't make any goddamn sense, and it was all connected to the whole dead parents thing, and it was, it was all jumbled and cluttered anyway. So I just get that plot point out of there. That's my opinion.
Okay.
If you really, really are strongly for it, then I will hear your pitch.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. I was okay. Sorry.
What you
I
got?
didn't think we would have such different. Okay.
Well, you should have asked me.
I guess so.
Perhaps we should discuss things before.
We should have planned this better.
We are very well planned. Don't let us be fooled. This jokingness we're doing. We planned this out weeks ago.
Yeah, you can tell that about as much effort went into this as
went into. Something of a goblin disease or something.
Okay, all right. Well, here's the thing. Here's the argument I'm going to make. The whole thing with Norman that was set up in the first film is that he is dying. Mm-hmm. They set that up in the first film. To me, it only makes sense that we see that through in the second film.
Okay.
However, I think it would be... Can we pause a second?
Why we pause?
Sorry about that. So here's my thing. It was set up in the first film.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So I do feel like we need to follow up on that on the second film, that Norman Osborn is sick. He's dying. Now, whatever
That's a
illness...
good point, though. That's a good point, because in my other video, I'm following what was set up in Amazing Spider-Man 2, but, making tweaks here and there that can get us out of the...
Yeah. Here's the concession I'm going to make, is whatever made-up disease he's dying from,
Yeah.
it's not the goblin disease, because
Okay.
that is silly.
Yeah, agreed.
Ridiculous. The look for it was dumb.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't even... So, they based it off of the Ultimate Spider-Man comic books, where Norman, like, literally physically transforms into a goblin.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, when he transforms into a goblin, it like, he looks like freaking, like, the Hulk as a goblin. Like, he turns into, like, this gigantic monster. He doesn't look like a moldy rat man, which is what we got in the film.
Moldy rat man. I am a moldy rat man.
Like, that was silly. So whatever disease he's dying from, this genetic disease,
Yeah.
we'll keep that too, since, I mean,
Okay,
so
fair.
much of the Osborn plotline
was
riding on this. But, like, so he's dying.
Okay.
And he is desperate for a cure.
Fair.
And that is how the goblin serum comes about.
Okay.
Like, it can be like a thing that, like, first it's affecting him mental, like, first, like, it makes him strong again, but it's affecting him mentally, it's damaging his brain chemistry, and then, like, in the climactic thing, since we are gonna, just to honor, what they were going for, he does transform into, like, Ultimate Goblin, to, carry through that climax. But that's, for starters, that's how I would fix things. Because, like, that was just way too much crammed into Harry's arc.
Yeah.
And I would also, like, not have that whole retcon about about him being childhood friends with Peter. I would just have Peter and Harry meet and become friends in this film.
Fair.
I feel like that makes more sense.
Yeah, because he's graduated high school at that point, so...
Yeah, they graduated at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
And, yeah, and if anything, in the comic books...
They meet in college.
Yeah, one, they meet in college. Two, he was friends with Gwen for years before he even met Peter. So if he was going to be...
Here's how you could, just, like, have him meet through Gwen. And then be like, oh, this is my friend Harry.
Yeah, if he's anyone's childhood friend, it would be Gwen's, not Peter's. So, especially since she's already got a connection there anyway. She's working there.
True.
So I would, rather than retcon their relationship, just have them meet and become friends in this film. So far our changes are, Norman is not turning into a moldy rat man. He doesn't die in the first 5 minutes. He is our Green Goblin.
Okay.
And then the second thing is, like, for Harry, we introduce him as, as a friend. And, maybe, like, there's a thing where where he's finding out about the, it's genetic, and maybe, like, towards the end of the film he starts to experience, early symptoms or whatever, but like nothing like all that bullshit he got. Like, he's an ally, the end.
And what is good about this is that Chris Cooper actually gets to do something in the movie.
Yeah, right?
Have a much bigger role. And be able to have his own Norman Osborn performance.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that definitely would be, a good change there.
Thank you.
So, since he's also running Oscorp, even though he is in this kind of state, he's still running it, I would also connect Rhino more to him, because I know that Rhino was kind of stealing stuff for that, but, like, maybe he kind of, like,
was he stealing stuff for Oscorp? I
think he was stealing from them, is what I'm saying.
From them, okay.
But I'm saying we can change that a little bit, because we are making changes here, honey.
Oh, yeah.
So,
like, if he's stealing from them, like, he could, like his people could like after the thing with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Osborn's
Yeah, you
people.
can keep the opening scene there. That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
But and then Osborn's people could intercept and bring him in, and like because like whatever bullshit, I'm dying, I need whatever, and now you're gonna work for me in order to get that. And then like then he's a lackey for.
Yeah, and it can be a lackey, but you can also like actually use Paul Giamatti.
Exactly.
Because it's Paul Giamatti.
Right. He wouldn't just be at the beginning and then at the end. He would be like sort of a mid-tier villain throughout the film.
Yeah. You can just be kind of a henchman, which is what Rhino basically has been.
Right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and then maybe if he fails or something, then that's when you give him his Rhino suit and all that. Maybe a better Rhino suit than they gave him, but but that's when he can start to get his, or maybe that's how he finds,
and he I also think he could be a good source of comic relief.
Yeah, that's fine. Paul Giamatti can do comedy well.
Also just all those faces he was pulling.
Yeah.
During his actual screen time. Someone was having fun.
If you want to see a good movie with him, go watch The Holdovers. He's quite good in it. Cool. Yes, that's a change that I would make there. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about Electro for a minute. And I mean, besides not making
I'm Electro.
blue, is there anything you would change about Electro in this movie? His storyline or whatever the case.
I do like the idea of like this whole like someone who's been ignored all his life, and then he gets superpowers and it goes to his head, and it's like this whole like I'm gonna make you notice me now sort of thing. I feel like his look should be a little less stereotypical nerd.
Fair.
Yeah. Because that was silly.
Yeah.
I kind of like the and we can probably get into this more when we do the talk about MCU.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea of like him, the thing in No Way Home where he like recalibrates his molecules to like basically turn himself into his like idealized form.
Oh yeah.
Because he had that whole thing in No Way Home where it's all like, ooh, I like this universe. We could do some of that, like make it like have him be smoother when he becomes Electro.
Yeah.
Instead of like this. Instead of like I am dark and emo and blue.
Dubstep.
I mean, keep the dubstep, but
because that could be like just lost my train of thought.
Yeah, like if they were burying his death anyway, it could just be sort of like a thing where it's all like, oh, suddenly I'm cool now.
Oh, I was just gonna say he's Stefaning himself.
Pretty yes. And go more for like the yellow,
the classic look,
the classic yellow.
Yeah, why not?
Look.
It's a comic book movie. Come on, guys.
Exactly.
It's so weird when movies do that. We're like, well, we don't want it to look cheesy. It's a fucking comic book. That's how it looks in the comics. It's sometimes I understand changes, but like
I understand, and also like some things are difficult to translate to the screen, or they have to be like eased in, like Wanda Maximoff becoming Scarlet Witch. That was something that had to be eased in.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, like I think we're ready for like his yellow powers, as opposed to like Darth Sidious. Blue Man group.
All right. So that's
but keep his cool electric powers because they were legit cool.
So most of his plot stays the same.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so we got that. We fixed the Harry Osborn stuff. We fixed Norman Osborn stuff. Okay, so
we fixed Rhino.
Yeah, I fixed Rhino. We need to cut those Ghost of Dennis Leary.
Yes.
Scenes.
Stupid.
Also, that whole unnecessary let's break up, let's not break up shit. Get that shit out of there. We don't need it.
Cut it out. Mm-hmm. Dumb.
However, I do think we should introduce Mary Jane in this film.
She was going to get introduced.
Yes. I think we should get a better actress, though, than who they had cast. But that's personal.
The Shailene Woodley fans will come for us.
That's okay. Did you say she was like anti-vax or something? You said something about that. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, allegedly, we don't want any lawyers coming for us either.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Well, whatever. I don't know.
So, yeah. So.
But she just doesn't really have that. She doesn't look like Mary Jane that much.
Yeah. So introducing Mary Jane in this film.
Yeah, like maybe just like, introduce her how she kind of was introduced in the comics. How like she's, her mom is a friend of Aunt May's. So you introduce her that way.
Mm-hmm.
But like it could be like it could even be after Gwen's death or something if you want to know. Although I think she knew Gwen in the comics.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah, they were friends.
I mean,
in the
you
comic
could
books.
introduce them that way too. She could be introduced through like a group of friends.
I feel like she should be introduced fairly early on, so it doesn't feel like.
Yeah.
And it's the replacement.
Now that we got this bitch out of the way and
right,
dead, here you go.
Yeah, we don't want it to feel like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So like introduce her like after they graduate from school.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like.
So also, it was a very small part, but they do introduce Black Cat. Technical by in here. And,
okay, so here's my thing with a lot of these Easter eggs, because they were trying so hard to set up so much stuff, like the Alistair Smythe, Dr. Kafka.
Yeah.
I would cut all that, honestly.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't like it got to the point where it felt pandering.
I'll fill it in somewhere when we're plotting our third movie. But anyway,
sure, yeah, no, it's just like there was so again, part of the
I am
issue.
going to fight for one thing, though.
Sure, okay, go for it.
Now it doesn't go with my other video for this casting.
Sure.
However, I feel that the guy who was kind of the head of the kind of running things, and oh my god, you're looking at me so confused, like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. The guy who was that they took hostage to go get the damn serum that made him the half bald guy. Oh my god, you were like looking at me like I'm stupid.
Oh, yeah, we talked about that. I did not look at you like you're stupid. Yeah, I was a little confused because I didn't know where you were going with that. Yes, the guy that we were all like, oh, so it's Adrian Toombs.
He should have been
Adrian Toombs. Yes, I agree.
He could work there.
I agree.
He doesn't have to be set up as a vulture now, but like you
correct.
At least that's one Easter egg I would.
That is I would agree with that.
He has the look for it. I think he's a good cape. I've seen him play villains before. I think he'd be good.
I think I agree. I agree completely.
Okay, cool. So we'll set that up there.
Now that I know who you're talking about.
The guy! Come on, the guy running the stuff.
That guy. The guy with the stuff. He was half bald. How many half bald?
Okay, is there anything anything with Andrew Garfield in terms of his character stuff or anything that he... Would you keep the dead parent stuff or the kind of Clone War?
Oh god, I would cut way back on like his obsession with his dead parents.
Yeah, I mean, we have to kind of acknowledge it because it was set up in the first movie, though.
Oh, I agree. Mm-hmm. I agree. There's a difference between acknowledging it and like making it like hyper fixation, which is the line that got crossed into the second film.
Yeah,
and like to the point where you're like, I do not freaking care.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but, like, cut back on the dead parents a bit.
Fair.
Focus more on him and Aunt May.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, had some good scenes.
Yeah. Like the fact that, he's still, he's graduated from high school and he's still living with his aunt.
Yeah, there's no judgment there.
There is no judgment there, but, like...
I lived my parents through college.
Yeah.
Very much. No.
Yeah, no, it's no judgment at all.
Yeah.
But, like, we'd also give Sally Field more to do.
Yeah. Now, obviously they graduate high school at the beginning. Should they be possibly starting college sometime in this movie, or do you say that for the next movie?
I don't know. I thought it was I thought it was interesting the way it basically took place over the course of the summer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, just giving because it had occurred to me when I was doing my video yesterday that if we're sort of going, a little bit, I know that was more the parents thing, but like if we're sort of hinting at a Clone Saga-esque story, although not as complicated or ridiculous as that got, but then you would need to introduce the Jackal, who was a big part of the whole cloning thing.
Yeah,
was a
and
professor at the college.
yeah, Dr. Warren.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like you could introduce him, not necessarily in this movie, but like maybe if that's what the route you want to go.
Okay.
So I just was thinking about that. So since they were with the whole parents thing and that they're hinting at that clone thing and
Yeah.
tie him with Norman Osborn a bit too.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does this movie wrap up essentially? Like, how do we essentially we want to set up the third film, so we want to have something set up there.
Yeah. Let's see. So the idea is that they were kind of setting up for Sinister Six for
Yes,
Spider-Man for Amazing Spider-Man 3,
but
right?
as I said in my video, I feel like they slowed the roll a little bit. Like, I don't think you should immediately go right from this right into a Sinister Six movie. You should do another third movie. You should do a third movie. Maybe start to introduce these other characters slowly. Now, if you were with the Sony Spider-Verse, I was giving them solo movie, villain movies kind of thing to get them to build up to the Sinister Six. But you have to kind of go sort of the Marvel approach where you're building up to these big villains. So it's not just, and Thanos is here, build up to the big villain team up. So, like, at least do the third movie, and then you can do a full Sinister Six. Because you already have Electro. You already have Rhino. You have Vulture teased here. Norman Osborn's connected there. So basically all you really need is...
And you got Lizard. He's hanging out from the first movie.
Oh, that's true. You also have Kraven. You introduce Kraven the Hunter. You also have Sandman, who can be connected to...
Yeah, and those are... Yeah, like, you don't have to introduce all of them in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
like
Doc Ock.
Yeah, like, they can be... some of them can be introduced in the third film.
Yeah.
But
what I think... Yeah, in the third film, that's kind of how I would use Miles Warren in the way, the Jackal, in the way that Kurt Connors was kind of used in the Raimi films as just kind of a background character that will be important later.
Yeah.
I would cast Andre Braugher to play the role.
Ooh, I like. Cool. Yeah, I could, you know what? Now I could be down with that.
Okay.
So... I personally...
It's like you glitch McConnell there for a minute.
Oh, God, don't wish that on me, Ricky Bob. Don't you wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. So I would say... See, I don't have a problem with, like...
Sorry.
Well, especially if you're killing Norman at the end, then one, you can set up Harry.
Yeah.
Harry's full to the dark
are we
side.
killing Norman at the end, or are we like saying he's dead?
Either way, if Harry believes, what matters is Harry believes that he's dead.
Right. Yeah. Because I remember we had talked before about what the mistake that they made with the Raimi trilogy was killing him off too quickly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, we can certainly hint that he's dead, but maybe
or like make it appear that he's dead.
Yeah, because I would go more with, instead of that guy that in the background recruiting people, I would have had it be Norman Osborn.
I agree with that.
He's setting things up,
Yeah. Okay, so I guess what I was trying to say, like having him fake his death.
Yeah, yeah. That's fair.
And but Harry believes it. People believe it. And then like the ending is him like kind of like what the gentleman was doing is setting all these things in place, people in motion.
Yeah.
And I would have this set up for Chameleon, just because I want to see him on the big screen for once.
Right. Yeah.
And some other like mid-tier villains.
Yeah. That's what I would.
And the Enforcers.
Yeah, I would do in the third film too, is like have some of those kind of like lower tier villains, just to sort of like beginning, kind of a little bit what they did with Rhino, though they should have used Rhino better. But like, but like that, like the opening scene can be him like stopping Big Whale or something,
Yeah. Shocker.
Shocker. Yeah. Yeah. One of those, goofier villains. Just that's an easy. Basically, I caught this guy. He sucks. Basically. so that you have a couple, because that's why I think it was good about like the animated series and things like that, is they would kind of introduce characters. Like Doc Ock would just be a professor at first before you find out,
Right.
So that's, I feel like that's one thing they haven't done as good in these live action movies, is setting up some characters that you can.
Yeah.
They may not be important now, but they will be important later.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where you have to go. Now, I do want to avoid just repeating what the Raimi thing did with the fallout between him and Peter.
No. Right. No, like that's what I'm saying, is that it would be, like the ending would be more like him depressed, grieving, starting to get sick. Less about him being angry so much.
Gotcha.
So that's where I was going with that. And Gwen Stacy dies.
Yeah, we're keeping that.
We are keeping that. It's comic book canon.
It is.
It is one of the most famous.
It's sad.
It's right up. I mean, it's like not killing Uncle Ben. Like, you got it, if Uncle Ben is there, he gotta die.
Right.
It's kind of the same way with Gwen Stacy
and Batman's parents, but
It's
interesting though that I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, it's interesting that they've never done like an alternate universe thing, where like how in like Flashpoint where Thomas Wayne is Batman in this universe, and his wife becomes the Joker and all that, and it's Bruce that died during the thing. It's interesting they've never done a thing where Ben Parker got bit by the spider and Peter Parker died and he became an adult Spider-Man. I mean, a different type of character, but still, that's something that I feel is a missed opportunity. Not that we're going to do that in these movies, but I'm just saying it's interesting that comic has never tried to like do something with it. Because they've done, they have the alternate Gwen Stacy and all that.
And they've done what if storylines, but like
but
Ben always dies.
Yeah, poor Ben.
Parker always dies.
Right.
Poor guy. So. And like the way they shot it, like in the film, was really good. So we would keep all that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And then keep the scene in the comic book where MJ comes to comfort him. And,
definitely. Now, if you were to recast the Mary Jane role there, because granted, this was what time?
2014.
2014-ish. Okay, so not that it has to be a redhead, but if you wanted to go that route.
Yeah, because somebody can dye their hair.
Yeah.
You've put me on the spot.
I have put you on the spot. That's what this video is all about, putting you on the spot.
Put me on the spot. Oh, let's see.
I also have this thing, which can look up actresses from that time.
Okay. Hang on a second. We'll be right back. All right. For those of you waiting with bated breath, we've chosen our Mary Jane. It would be Holland Roden from Teen Wolf.
Yes. She's got the right look for it.
Yeah. She's a redhead.
Time frame,
right. Time, right. Age range.
Yeah. So there you go.
There we go.
We have solved the problem. Cool. So it's interesting too, because like I remember when Zendaya got cast and all that, and I'm just like, she's really good friends with that one actress that was also Disney. It's a red.
Oh, Bella Thorne.
Yeah, that's actually a redhead, and I'm just like, I look at Bella Thorne, I'm like, she looks like fucking. She would have been a good Mary Jane.
Yeah,
I'm not saying she's the best actress, but like.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But still, I mean, she's not terrible. But like, I'm just saying. But if you wanted to have a comic accurate thing, you had. I mean, she's right there. It's just like, okay, choices were made. But
I'm sure Tom Holland is just fine with the way things turned out.
I'm just saying,
because they're dating.
Well, yes, honey. Obviously, it'd be like me being like, I'm really happy that Anna was cast in this role. But she doesn't look anything like the character. I don't care. She's dating me. Therefore, it overrules your thoughts.
So is that everything?
I think so.
I think so.
I mean, yeah. So he's dealing with. So what I was hinting at too.
Yes.
In my little setup video, which it wasn't going to be right away, but play off of some of the frustration and in No Way Home. You know how we talked about he stopped pulling his punches.
Yes.
like start
after
to explore,
after Gwen died.
explore that darkness,
Yes.
which can lead him to getting the symbiote. Set up your whole Venom storyline eventually, not right
Yes.
away, but like, this is the perfect time for it. So because he just had a big death, and that's going to put him in a darker state of
He's gonna
mind.
be yeah.
And since he doesn't have the whole, this person secretly killed your Uncle Ben.
Right.
Ridiculous storyline.
It
was actually this guy.
yeah. So cool.
Yeah.
We have officially fixed
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Cool. Well,
Cool.
You don't have to stop recording.
I'm
right?
not.
Okay.
I'm not. I was just.
You're just like, we're done. Just go away, people. So yeah, so we set up Spider-Man 3 to have
Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yes, Amazing Spider-Man 3 to have him dealing with Gwen Stacy's death still.
Yeah.
Do you keep the ending scene with Rhino, or do you go a different route?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I feel like it's important to get him back in action, but also in like kind of a darker route to like hint at his like black suit era or whatever. So maybe not quite as kid friendly. Not quite as cheerful.
Yeah.
And like maybe have it be with Rhino.
Sure.
Just because it's fun to see Rhino.
Yeah.
But maybe like not in such a public setting and not so sunny and cheery.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, of course, if you want to stick with comic accurate stuff, I think that you should. I think by the third movie, you should introduce Jameson, and more importantly, his son, the astronaut.
You know who else you should introduce?
And keep
is
coming.
Robbie Robertson.
Okay, but then we could get Man Wolf.
Oh, okay. All
You want to have a goofy villain? There you go, Man Wolf. But yeah, Robbie Robertson, sure, that's cool too. But yeah, you got to get Jameson in there. And
Yeah, we do.
of
Like
course.
they did hint at him with like the email exchange.
I think it would be funny too if J.K. Simmons.
It's got to be J.K. Simmons.
I think
yes.
I think his hair should be different in this one too. Since he's got a different look. And,
yeah, I trust my barber.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool,
guys.
Yeah.
So that's our fix on that one. So I mentioned yesterday, we are working towards a kind of Spider-Man esque podcast that we'll be working on. It's not going to be right away. We're going
I'm thinking
working emotions. Yeah,
yeah. It's a work in progress. I would say stay tuned for January.
Yeah, and yeah, cool. And then we're gonna probably do this with other movie series too. I was thinking that we would start to go back to Tim Burton's Batman and kind of see things that could, go from there, and kind of the Burton into Schumacher thing, and but kind of like I've done with the Halloween series, where I took okay, we're gonna have to follow up this movie. How do we fix that and set this up? That's what I kind of want to do with that. And hit each Batman trilogy, quadrilogy, whatever. How many movies there were in the thing? And
There are 4.
Yeah, I know there were, but I'm saying some trilogies, the Nolan trilogy was 3. So I'm just saying.
No, I gotcha.
Do you understand how this works?
I do understand how this works.
Picture? No.
Wow.
I'm going to be condescending to my wife. What? Oh.
All right, so that's
Thanks,
enough.
guys. Like and subscribe, and keep on watching.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Thumbs up.